Hi, I'm Katie Tedman. I'm the head of business development at Socialie. Socialie is the best way for brands to leverage their extended networks in social media. What does that mean? Let's look at a real example. So the top major leagues in the US have a tremendous amount of followers. They do a great job of engaging fans. But when you look at the athletes of those leagues in aggregate, it's way more reach, 500%. So we're talking about almost 1 billion people who are never reached by league messages. The challenge in doing this to reach out to third parties is that currently the process is really manual. Frequently it's a lot of emails with files and recommendations on copy. So it's super laborious. It's confusing for the end user who gets this copy. And there's no data available in the return. Let's look at a real-life example of something that we can help solve. Some people may remember this example of a tweet where Dikembe Mutombo sent this 6 hours before the NBA draft actually happened. It resulted in a lot of bad press and even some kind of fun conspiracy theories. But really what happened was that he didn't read the email closely, and he missed what said, "Post this if we get the first round pick." So this is the kind of problem that we solve. We're a simple-to-use browser-based tool. We make it easy for brands to send content to third parties like athletes. We make it easy for the athletes to one-click publish that content so they don't have to do any thinking about it. And then we automate the data return on the back end at the impression and reach level. So what does that actually look like? So this is an example of a post that would be sent from the UFC to one of their fighters. They get it via text message. They could also get it via email or Twitter DM. When the athlete gets it, they can review the content. They can click into that copy and change it if they want, or they can just one-click to post. Once that content goes live, we pull the data into the back end, and through our tracking system, you can look at campaign-level data for the activations that you're doing with third parties. That gets down, again, to impression, reach, video views, time spent. And it works. So an example of a campaign that we've worked with a team on recently is with the Kansas City Chiefs. And for both the league and the Chiefs, it's a major priority to engage the international audience. For the Chiefs especially, the Brazilian audience is important because of their star kicker, Cairo Santos. So what they do is they create content in Portuguese based on great action that happens on the field. What we were able to help them do is have the league send content as well, which resulted in 2 times as much post volume, double-digit fan growth year over year in the Brazilian market, above what they had seen last year, and then they had to add no new staff to execute this. So the market is huge for social media. I think that anybody at the Sloan Conference knows this. The areas that we really play in are social advertising, partially because there's a lot of money being put into influencer engagement, and that's the area that we play. We fit into the social media management tools, and we all know that brands are spending a lot of money to try to figure out how their work is netting out when it's live in the field. We make money through our revenue generation is software as a service, so we have a seat model where a company may have 4 annual licenses. They may have up to 50 annual licenses if they have a large organization. We also are looking towards future revenue generation like the influencer marketplace or potentially ad revenue. We're the right people to do this. Our product team has built product for companies like Cisco, Dell, the US Air Force. Our founder is ex-UFC, I'm ex-NFL, NHL, and ESPN. So we're starting in the sports space, but we know that sports is just kind of the tip of the iceberg for us. There are a lot of other areas we're looking at, like movie studios and entertainment, TV networks and their talent, grassroots influencers, companies and employees, corporations and their franchises, and basically any hub and spoke model can use us that has a central corporate center and endpoints to communicate with. So these are some examples of posts that have actually gone live through our tool, and you can see that they run the gamut from athletes to influencers to brands. We've seen great success with the actual conversion rates of these posts going live. And we want to thank everyone at MIT Sloan for checking out what we've got.